This is Deacon Tom Scarlett, and you are listening to the Deacon Speaking Podcast. I am your speaking deacon. I am the deacon speaking, and I couldn't think of any place that I would rather be today than right here with you, sharing the good news and injecting a bit of positivity and hope into your day. You know, today I want to talk about something very special and necessary to each of us, dare I say, an essential part of our lives, to our existence, and to our souls, and that is the priesthood. Now, maybe you're checking your phones and your players right now to see if you're tuned in to Deacon Speaking, and yes, you are, but I gotta give props to my priest friends out there, because without the priests, there would be no deacons, so I owe you guys quite a lot, really. Now, specifically, I want to pitch a new podcast to you that's just launched, and it's got a handful of episodes posted so far, but it's well worth your time. It's a podcast called The Priestcast. It comes from the Archdiocese of Indianapolis through the Office of Vocations, and it's hosted by two amazing priests, Father Adam Ahern and Father Mike Kuchar. Now, these two are two incredible young men, and they are absolutely in love with their vocation as priests. These are the kind of priests you meet and you say, yeah, these guys are in the right line of work. So, look for their podcast titled The Priestcast, and like and share so that you don't miss future episodes of theirs. Now, this calling to the priesthood, it's so very, very special, and I believe it was arguably better respected in days past. And I think that's because the priesthood was perhaps better understood in previous generations than it is today. Plus, we live in a world where talking head personalities control narratives, and way too often those personalities are not just anti-Catholic, they are anti-religious. So, of course, you can count on some Christian bashing most of the time. And you can't deny those atrocities revealed several years ago with so many scandals involving priests that sadly painted all priests, it seems, in a very bad light. And I still have some friends who make off-color jokes about things like this that I never find funny. Now, I saw a recent stat that there was over 400,000 Catholic priests in the world in 2023. Now, there's roughly 1.2 billion Catholics in the world, so the math equates to a lot of work for the priest and large flocks for him to serve. Also, the number of men discerning the priesthood seems to drop off every year, so the challenge is great, not just for the church, but for society as well. Do you know that Christ created the priesthood with the first apostles, those fishers of men, those brave and eager martyrs to his name? Well, John, the author of the book of Revelation, was not martyred, but he was a priest just the same as his brother apostles, and I would bet with a high level of confidence that he would have accepted his martyrdom had it been offered to him. But the priest you see today, who celebrate Mass with you, who hear your confessions, who bring you the sacraments, the priests who live their lives like no other individual on the face of this planet, they do this for one reason and one reason only. It is pure, undying love. I said earlier that these men are necessary to us, that they are an essential part of our lives. I don't want to imagine a world without priests. That's a world without sacraments, without heavenly placeholders, those things on earth that make the invisible visible, those things that feed our souls, the food from heaven that God promised to us. These men bring heaven closer to us, and they bring us closer to heaven. The priesthood is not simply a job that a religious person just decides one day that they might put on a collar and start evangelizing. Not at all. It's a vocation. Have you ever looked that up? What it means to have a vocation? Well, let me tell you, it means It's a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation, especially regarded as particularly worthy and requiring a great dedication. Something like this is not merely a career choice. Ask any priest his vocation story, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a single one who says he does it for the money. Not at all. Each priest spends much time, even years, in a period of discernment. That is a quest for spiritual guidance and understanding, to ensure that the life and vocation of priests is a calling from God that he recognizes. Once this vocation's discerned, his life catches fire like dry tinder, igniting a fire that will burn throughout the course of his life in service to God and his fellow man. And he does it despite himself or his wants. He goes where he is led, and he goes where he is called. This is not to say the life of a priest is easy. I am but a humble deacon who doesn't fully appreciate the life and sacrifice of a priest. But I have several priest friends who I know and who I love, and they are the happiest souls that I know. In an otherwise dark world, the priest is the light of Christ that cuts through the darkness, chasing the shadows and bathing the world in the truth and the hope of Jesus. We must pray that they hear his call daily and stay the path and stay the course, lest he go astray, which is always a great tragedy when there's one less priest to afford us the blessed Eucharist. Pray for priests and pray for those discerning vocations. Maybe you're considering a vocation. Maybe you are hearing God's call to you and are not sure just what to do with it. Well, I assure you that your first step should be to talk to a priest. He can and will always help you to hear God's call. And if it's a call to the priesthood, he will point you in the right direction. And when he does point, it will always be in the direction of the cross. Hey, we are all called by God for a purpose, so open your ears and your hearts to hear him more clearly. And please check out the Priestcast with Father Adam Ahern and Father Mike Kuchar, and absolutely smash that like button for them always and often. This is Deacon Tom Scarlett, and I am your speaking deacon. I am the deacon speaking. Tune in again, and I will see you right here next week.